Good morning, guys. How are you? I wanted to talk about Pharaoh's curse today. It's gonna be something really profound. It goes through languages, ancestral curses. It has different layers and branches, but I'm gonna do my best to give you what God gave me. So when we talk about Pharaoh's curse, we are basically dealing with people who oppress the Hebrews. Spanish comes from Spain and the Hebrews and the Middle East, and it goes all the way back to the Holy Land, right? The beginnings of the Bible. First, they were by Canaan, they worked their way east all the way to Egypt, then they worked all their way to Ghana, and that's how some of us ended up over here in Puerto Rico. This is the New Jerusalem, right? Every 2,500 years is a new age, and there's a new prophet for a new age. That's why you have Abraham, Jacob, Moses, Jesus, and now you have. I'm gonna call myself the Magdalene, right? I think it's fitting. So every age there's a new prophet and a new land that gets sort of baptized with the Holy Spirit. So what happened was, right? Uh, the Egyptians got kind of hijacked by Cleopatra and ended up in Greece, and that's how the Catholics began, and that's how the mob ended up in New York, and that's how Donald Trump got dead, basically. So that's why he defends and protects these witches that do the Egyptian magic and curses, right? So this is not anything new. This is an old ancestral curse that's been placed upon the United States because they won't let our people go. And God has heard our suffering. So let's get into the entrails of this curse, right? Because the curse is not on the Hebrews, aka Latin America. The curse is on the United States. Um, we're gonna start with Hebrews, Hebrew, as we call people that live inland, that are one with the universe, with the land, with the waters, the rivers, right? That the Bible speaks of, the life waters of Jesus. So the people that don't farm, that don't acknowledge what's in front of them, and I'm not only speaking about when did we stop farming. I'm also speaking about when did you guys stop looking at your women as God's gift to you? When did you stop looking at women as the mother of your children and the generations, as a holy vessel to give you a life and to help you, right? To help me. When did you stop looking at women as a gift from God? And when did you stop looking at yourself as a child of God? I'm not sure who did it, right? But somewhere along the line, something happened in New York where hip hop, instead of being spoken poetry and upliftment to the people, became a tool from Pharaoh. And we're talking about white racism to African American racism, right? So you have your white supremacists and you have your African American supremacists who oppress their own people, like Pharaoh did, their own women, right? And they make it look like, oh, men are better than women, and they hide behind that lie. How could that be so? Because the white supremacists are oppressing the men and the women. Look at the jail cells. Look at the hoods. No, there is a large mass of inequality and pain and ancestral bondage that is there for a reason. So there is a curse here, a gigantic generational curse going on. How did it happen? I want you to know that God is giving me all these things so I can give them to you, right? I don't really know anything. The Almighty knows all. That's why I can give you this. So when the people in Africa that sold the Hebrews, right, from Ghana and ended up in Puerto Rico, the ones that the King of Egypt let them go, they grabbed them and they moved them to the islands, right? Those tribes that sold us in Puerto Rico, the white man came and grabbed them and brought them to the United States. That's why they're cursed. Now, if the white supremacist ancestors at one point in time knew that they could grab them and punish them because they were cursed, a curse only lasts for so long also. So it looks like to me that it is time for Pharaoh to let go, period, for the spirit to leave the earth. What happened with Moses and Pharaoh? We have the frogs. Why the frogs? Because someone of high authority, aka a demon seated in the throne of a demonic stronghold, did something to a holy person or to a holy people, aka kill all the Hebrew babies. So what happened? He sent them frogs, warts. They didn't want to feed the Hebrews, they wanted to keep food from them, so they sent them hunger, um, strife in the land. Everybody was fighting, right? What else happened? The blood, the rivers of blood. Excuse me, this is like a very sad subject for me. All the babies that have died from abortions is also part of the curse. If you see 7 million babies dead in the womb, you know there's something wrong. If women are unable to keep their legs closed, you know there's something wrong. There's something wrong energetically. You know what I mean? Because if you're present, if you're present in your body, you know what's good for you. You know to keep your legs closed. You know to find birth control. You know a man is not gonna give you anything that God cannot give you. Like God has everything. This physical reality is secondary, and it should be the same for men too. You should know that God has everything, and that everything that's happened physically is secondary, a secondary manifestation from the Almighty. So if the earth is going through great convulsion and havoc, and everybody's fighting, that means that the heaven is going to war. The heaven and hell are in an intense, otherworldly, severe fight for humanity right now. You must choose which side you're going into. The Pharaoh spirit is bound by the hosts of God, and it's on its way down to the pit for at least 1,000 years. I wanted to talk about other curses, right? So let's say you're hanging out with like 10 people in a holy land, right? And only one of those 10, I don't know, 10 to 100,000 people that were in that holy land gets the blessing of Abraham. That means that person was chosen for something, right? So if you are looking at that person and you're trying to hurt that person, steal the blessings, get in the way of those people, that means you yourself have the curse of Pharaoh. The curse of Pharaoh also includes uh, racism. Racism is one of the main characteristics of Pharaoh's curse, where you are unable to look past color and ethnicity to accept that person, to help that person. You know what I mean? Okay, maybe you don't. Okay, so where I'm from, we're all mixed, right? Most of us are mixed. So there's always, at least physically, you can tell who's black and who's white physically, but we're really all mixed underneath. It's been 500 years of mixing, right? Anywho, um, the Hebrews always had curly hair, right? The curls, I don't know if you've seen the Hebrews that like to wear the curls on the sideburns as curls. That means something. That means that they're past that curse of Pharaoh, where you're looking at black and white and you're looking to oppress and you are living in harmony, right? That is a thing that's important, to let people unite themselves through bloodlines, to let the bloodlines get together in harmony, to release that curse of excuse me, English is my single language, guys. Exclusivity, to go into inclusivity, to the tribe, right? The hugging everybody, that realizing that you're only in one land, that you need each other, that each race has their wisdom and the cultural wisdom, and it would be enlightening and helpful to humanity if we could all share our ancestral wisdom with each other. That's what the prophecy of the Warriors of the Rainbow is about. All of us getting together and sharing our wisdom, and being in Mother Earth and loving her and loving each other and sharing and getting past the division of nationality, racism, gender, income, religion, right? All those divisive things. Look at how the earth is right now. This is what division has cost us. That's what the Pharaoh's curse is. Oh, the women. I just got a. Do you remember in Egypt how they had the snake on the forehead, the pharaohs? That means they don't have a third eye, they have a snake, Lilith. So you gotta be careful with these people that call themselves pharaoh and they like their Egyptian stuff. Watch them, because they just may be possessed and you don't know what you're dealing with. You think, oh, you have a pharaoh, or what you have is a whole freaking demon sitting up on the throne of hell. You gotta be really careful. If you're gonna deal with a woman or a man, make sure that man is with God. I'm not saying, there's different levels of it, right? But the least you want to hear is that that person believes in God the Almighty and that they're willing to go to church and pray. That's the least of it, right? There are times where these times are really tough times. I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna say that I personally will compromise in my beliefs or my religion. I don't really have one, but if I did, I wouldn't compromise on it either. I'm not gonna compromise on my heritage, my conscious heritage, right? My Hebrew blood. I'm not gonna compromise on that, and I'm not going to be with a pharaoh, right? So if you find yourself Latina in an abusive relationship with a white man or a black man, you got a pharaoh right there. Time to go. Um, if you, vice versa, if you are Latino and you find yourself with a white woman or a black woman, and they're oppressing your bloodline, that's the Pharaoh's curse right there. Be very, very careful. Beepity bappity, run, right? Um, so yeah, guys, that's some of the Pharaoh's curse. I hope this was enlightening. I love you guys. Talk to you soon.